Hey, good people of Facebook, it's Ashley here, and I just wanted to give you a little on my way home Facebook Live, I guess. I have just finished interviewing for my front desk position, and I had two very good candidates, and I'm hoping they both show up to work on Monday. So it's crazy how in life, like, we have people in different phases, and it's not that we don't love these people, but these people are different things for us, right? So some people might be there more in a friend position or a development position or a holding space kind of position, and those people aren't any less important. But I think in my business and my life, I have reached a new level of, need. My needs have changed, I guess I should say. So I went from just needing somebody to answer the phone, just needing somebody to check clients in, just needing to have somebody help me change sheets, to, and now I need those things, but I also need help with admin work. I also need help with interviewing and hiring and managing. And the needs of my business have changed and evolved through the years. And so I guess it was about a month ago, I sat down and redid everybody's position at the office. Hey, and I was like, I might get some pushback from this. This might be a bad thing. No, it has been amazing, guys. So essentially what I did is I created an executive assistant position, kind of like a manager. And then I had a front desk person or two that I had planned to hire for. And then I had planned to hire for a spa tech position. So the spa tech position could be, a high school student, somebody that maybe had moved here from another country that was having trouble finding work, but had a visa or whatever. So more unskilled labor, creating positions for unskilled labor. And then, of course, you have your massage therapist, right? And I think every massage therapist wants to feel like the surgeon in their office. They want to feel special and important and empowered. And, basically they want to feel like doctors. And that's totally cool. We got to keep our egos in check. But I understand it. And in my space, it kind of works. So this whole idea came from a conversation that I had with a good friend and client that started at a waste management company as a janitor, and now he's the CEO of that company. And he's like, what if you treated your therapist like surgeons? And I was like, that's kind of crazy. Let me run with this idea. And we had also talked about adding a standalone service. So depending on what state you're in and who your board is, different boards allow different standalone services. A standalone service is a service that can be added to your practice without the need for a licensed therapist to operate it. So essentially it's something that can run in the background without you having to have your hands on, so that your front desk or your spa technician could put them in there, and so be it. So from the surgeon idea, I played around with the idea of getting dry clean scrubs. I had all kinds of fun ideas. Basically with the way my office has moved, we have a lot of calls about insurance and, can you take this insurance and can you take that insurance? I don't know until I put it through HBS and find out if Holistic Billing Service can take it or not. I can book you cash, until I know, or you can do the legwork and then we can find out and you can come in and do packages. But I decided, and I think I shared this in one of my last live videos that I did, I am not doing memberships. You guys can have that, but for my business model, it does not work. And the reason it doesn't work is because if you think of your business and everybody coming through the door like a funnel, there are people that I am not going to want to keep in my funnel because I do therapeutic work. Therefore, my clients, in all theory, and most clients do, they get better. And then my people that get better come in for maintenance. Well, if I clog the funnel with people that just want to come in and do, spa massage, then it clogs my funnel. So my therapeutic people can't get in. And that's what I really enjoy doing, I've played around with doing wraps and, spa treatments and all that fun stuff, and I don't mind doing it, and I'll even incorporate it into what I'm doing. You know, if somebody's got like fluid retention going on, or I'm trying to think, dry skin, paraffin wax for like the knee, or you know, if they're having plantar fasciitis pain, there's nothing wrong with a foot scrub, you know. But my ideal client is somebody that's coming in for therapeutic work. It's not somebody that is coming in for more of like a spa treatment. So, you know, I don't want to clog my funnel with the people that I do not particularly care for. And it's not that I don't care for these people. I do care for them. I care about them. But I would take a 90-minute neuromuscular over a 90-minute Swedish massage any day, because, you know, that's just who I am. That's what I want to do. That's what my office is about. You know, so this whole idea with the surgeon. Okay. You know, I was trying to figure out how I could make my therapist position easier. And I said, okay, you know, what if we had somebody come in, change the sheets, and set up for the next room? Like, what if we had somebody whose job was to just change sheets, sanitize, and set up for sessions, you know? And so the spa tech position was born. That would give my therapist more time to document their soap notes like doctors, right? You know, this whole idea around the surgeon. You know, we could do the dry clean scrubs. It's not a total thing that's out, you know, but it's expensive and it's not going to benefit me right now. So it's at the end of the priority list, okay? So looking at standalone services, I figured out a standalone service that could go along in my practice, you know, for what I'm already doing. You know, that my therapist could, or my front desk and my spa tech could set up for and pop people in and out that would help with my regular service, okay? So, you know, that's cool. That's real cool. But with that being said, the last week is I couldn't get people to come to their interview. And it was just very bizarre. It was very bizarre. And I had 2 people that I hired that didn't show up for their first day of work. And so here I am again, kind of on pins and needles, with this whole, like, what if they don't show up their first day? But, you know, it's one of those things, like, I've talked in my group a little bit about sometimes you just gotta have faith in things. This is one of those faith things. Like, I truly, wholeheartedly believe that the reason those people didn't show up is because the timing was not right and they were not the right people. The people that came in today, oh my gosh, guys. I think I've said in the past, if somebody that worked at Chick-fil-A ever came in and interviewed, like, they would automatically have a job, because Chick-fil-A is like customer service, you know, on steroids. And so I used to go to Elevation Church, and I think a lot of what I learned at Elevation has translated for me into business. And so they have a program called Y2K. It's like a leadership ministry kind of thing, but they focus on different areas of ministry. So, like, you know, social media management, or like different areas of ministry. And I actually got a girl that had been laid off from Elevation, and she came in, and, like, I already knew when I saw her resume that she was my person, you know? She was my person. Because for me, Elevation is like Chick-fil-A, you know? It's teaching people good business skills, good, you know, customer service kind of thing. Put the client first. And I was like, I need this person in my business, you know? And so I went ahead and I checked her references, called her references, and I was like, all right, you know, everybody had great things to say about her. And she came in. And then while she was there, I was fixing to do her background check, and the girl after her came in. And you know, both of these people, like, I had, like, instant connections with. Like, it was easy. And the girl after her came in, and, you know, like, she started talking to her, and she's like, oh, you work here, you know? And she was like, yeah, you know? And so, like, it's like all 3 of us had kind of had like a bonding thing. And the whole reason we had the whole bonding thing was because I had my instructor from school call me and ask me for something, and I was going round and round and round with her. But yeah, so I think sometimes there is that, you know, like, if you're on a spiritual level with me here, there is that, like, divine intervention where it's like the certain people at the certain time, like the right time in your business, the right phase of your business. Like, sometimes we're not ready for things. And that's the reason why it doesn't happen. And, you know, last year I was trying to go full-fledged, like, CE instructor, consultant, coach, and I don't think my business was ready for that, you know? Like, COVID has had a lot of craptastic effects on the massage industry. But, you know, I don't think I was ready for a lot of things. And, you know, I was still hanging out with some people that made me feel very used, for a better lack of words. Like, they were using me to help themselves. And I wanted to be friends with those people. And, you know, through the whole COVID experience and through life and through being genuine and vulnerable with people and being kind, I realized those aren't my people, you know? And so I've been more independent. But, you know, and I think I might have said it on a Facebook Live. I might not have. You know, like, literally, my focus is on the Massage Innovation Network. My focus is on Fire and Ice Therapeutic Massage. My focus is on, like, Ashley Dwyer Enterprises, okay? And it's not on what everybody else is doing, you know? Like, if they were my coaching client, yeah, I would focus on them. Yeah, in the right time. You know, but it's like Apple and Microsoft. You know, Apple is the best of the best, I guess. I still don't have anything that's Apple. But that's a matter of personal preference. You know, while Steve Jobs was busy innovating, you know, tech and computers and focusing on what Apple could do better, you know, kind of Bill Gates was focusing on what Apple was doing and trying to take Microsoft to Apple, you know? And so it's like, sometimes when we step back out of the big picture, we can refocus. And, you know, when we focus on ourselves instead of everything around us, like, we can focus on things around us and draw things from it and, like, learn where we can do better. However, it shouldn't be our whole focus. And it's never been my whole focus. Like, my focus has been on me and my business and, you know, my clients and our growth. You know, it's never been on what such and such is doing and what such and such massage group. Like, half the time, like, I'm in those groups, but half the time I cannot tell you what's going on in those groups. You know, I only know what's going on in our group, and I only know, you know, so much. But here's the thing, you know, I was not ready for some things, and yet I took the initiative to go ahead and start them. And they didn't quite flop. They just didn't flourish, you know? And so there is a time and there's a place, you know, all that Ecclesiastes stuff, if that's your jam. But it literally took to getting here for me to say, okay, you know, like, I know that I am in the mindset and in the space of my business and, you know, and everything else where I'm at the point where if I could get a couple therapists hired and I can get these new people trained, like, I can walk away, you know? And there's a time for it. It's not the time that we all necessarily want, but it's the time where sometimes, you know, we just say, this is it, you know? And it's making the preparations, it's making the way for that. And, you know, I think one of my biggest things, and I think it frustrates some of my staff, is I make a lot of lists. So I have a list for everything. I have a checklist, I have a list, you know, but when we talk about SMART goals, and I've talked about SMART goals in here a lot, make a list of the steps that you need to take to be successful and to get from point A to point B. And when you get to point A and point B, then, you know, you can start evaluating things. You know, sometimes you don't know if you're ready. Sometimes you've been ready and you need to take the leap. You know, and for me, it wasn't I was ready to take the leap. It's that we didn't have the positions doing the correct things and, you know, fulfilling the correct needs. And one of the things that I have learned is, you know, people need to develop a relationship with a brand, not necessarily with a person, but a brand. and that's where story branding comes in and all that fun stuff. But, if you can build the need and address the need in the correct way, then people keep coming back. And, for me, like, I think when I started in this industry to help people, and that was my goal as a massage therapist, was to help as many people as I possibly can before my hands and my shoulders and my neck and my arms hurt, right? And at the time, I had lupus and I was really sick and I wasn't sure how long I was going to get to do this job. At one point I was going through chemo, and now I'm kind of getting the bills, and I'm kind of laughing about it because they never billed my insurance. How weird is that? So I've got to figure that stuff out. But here's the thing, guys. I was not thinking about being where I am today that many years ago. I was just thinking about me. I was just thinking about Ashley Dwyer paying her bills, providing for her small child, and, I was just thinking about the next minute. Literally some days it's been minute by minute. Like, will I make my bills this month? How many clients do I need to see this month? Like, that is how I've motivated myself to a point where I can succeed, And then before COVID, it was, well, I've got the continuing ed business. I'm seeing clients 2 days a week because I'm not feeling ready to step away. Like, that was my gut instinct, not ready to step away. And, I have all these classes that I've put all these hours of research and development in. And the whole reason I started teaching is not because I felt like my body was broke down yet, but because I came from an industry where everything has science to it and everything is medical, and it bothers me. It wholeheartedly bothers me that there are people that do things in our industry and cannot tell you why you do them or the science behind it. So once you figure out the science behind the technique and the modality and all the things, then it all comes together. And when you start putting the pieces together, then we become a more respectable, industry. And, I think at this point, like, I've always been looking for impact. I've always wanted to be a person that could impact our industry. And, I'm a 1-wing 2 Enneagram. So I'm an activist, for a better lack of words. That's like the stereotype, or the category. So my thing is impact. And I have the ability to impact more than just my clients, one client at a time. I have more than the ability to impact the staff in my office. One of the things that I've been working on really hard right now is culture. Like, I want to change the culture in my business. And so I am actively working to try to change the culture in my business. Because I want happy people. I want happy people that come to work, excited about work, excited about what we're going to do today. And I want to create positions for people that not only fulfill the need, but fulfill their sense of inner worth and need and acceptance. And, it's taken learning about like basic human needs and doing my own inner work to figure those things out. But, it's just funny because we started one place and here we are. And I knew at one point that eventually I wanted to teach continuing ed full time, and I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know if it looked like being online full time. I didn't know if it looked like, one class a month, one class a year, and my first year of teaching, I taught, I think it was like 400 students. And I was like, whoa, that's a huge impact to have on the massage industry, so it's like I can impact people that way. The group, I started this group to help my clients and my coaching clients and my students to keep growing. Like, I wanted to have a space for them to ask questions and it to be a safe space. Like, some of these groups are not safe spaces to ask questions in. Some of these people are bullies, like, straight up. I'm not doing the sea lining thing in my group. It's not happening. You start doing that shit, you're out the door. But I wanted a place where people could be vulnerable and genuine and, receive the kindness that they need. Not necessarily, you're a stupid idiot, why did you do that? Like, use it as a space for learning. And that has been my whole goal with this group. But I knew for a long time I was not in a headspace to teach full-time or research classes and stuff full-time. And, you know, it's been one of those things where literally, like, I think for the last year, I've kind of been in survival mode because of COVID. And so, you know, it was just about surviving, just about getting by. And so for the last year, I've spent a lot of time, you know, in my business, basically doing massage. And when COVID hit, you know, like, instead of taking that time out to do this, and this, like, I was looking at my massage community going, how can I help? Like, how can I serve here? How can I fix, you know? And at first I was like, okay, I'll just do all this coaching and consulting and, you know, teach online and, you know, have like little groups online. And then I figured out nobody was interested, you know? And so I allowed myself to like get down on myself a little bit. And, you know, like, really, I hadn't felt the feelings and I hadn't felt the fear. Like, I stuffed it down. I hadn't dealt with the depression and anxiety. Like, I stuffed it down because in my mind, like, my goal was to help you guys. And I could not help you guys from a place if I was not strong. So I stuffed it. For a while. And then it hit me all at once in like July. And, you know, so I had some people in the industry looking at me going, why are you talking about being depressed? You're not allowed to be depressed. And, you know, I got some really ugly messages, some disheartening stuff. And, you know, I was like, I think it's time that we're vulnerable with people, you know, and we're honest. Like, we're all human. You know, if you're human and you are completely flawless without mistake, well, kudos to you. But most of us are not. And so I've always wanted to be that coach and that CE teacher and that massage therapist and that consultant that is genuine and open and honest and vulnerable with you guys. And, you know, I had a moment a couple weeks ago where I was like, I think I just want to shut my doors and close. And I considered it, you know, because I was under so much stress and I was still in the treatment room and I had just lost my front desk person. And, you know, like, all these things were like weighing on me. It was super heavy. And, you know, I just wanted to lighten the load. And literally, like, I considered closing my business. And I was like, no, I can't close my business. Because if I close my business, then, you know, like, how can I relate to somebody that is in the treatment room or in the coaching and consulting space about, you know, what they're going through if I don't even have a practice to be able to tell them the right thing to do because I just gave up. You know, that's not strength. You know, so I decided, okay, like, let's reposition people, let's change their positions, let's do all these things, you know, let's change the jobs, let's change the tasks, let's change the culture. And it's like all these great things are happening. And, you know, we talk about vibrational frequency and how you change your vibrational frequency and you attract the right people. Might be a little woo, but, you know, I feel like I've changed the attraction to my business, and I've changed it because the needs have changed, and I have changed in that response. And, you know, like, literally, I got into teaching because I went to a class and it was supposed to be an 8-hour class, and the instructor had us for like maybe 3 hours and then was like, go home, here's your certificates. And I was like, what? You know, so a lot of my students are usually like, oh, we're gonna get out early, and I'm like, no, because I'm going to teach you more than this class should be teaching you in 8 hours, you know. But I'm going to teach you in a way that it's going to stick, and you're going to be able to tell the science back to somebody. So, you know, basically, like, I feel like in our industry, you have two groups of people. You have the spa, you know, more personal care people, and then you have the medical healthcare people that want us to be a more reputable profession with more, what's the word? Integrity. You know, and so literally, like, what I've been saying in this group for 2 years now, 2 years, guys, is that for us to be respected by the medical community, like, we're going to have to know our science. You know, we're going to have to start looking more like them. And one of the things that One of the things that I've also said a lot is if something happened financially to the economy, that we would need insurance to survive. Kinda. We're sitting here in that time, past that financial thing. And, I feel like taking insurance would have made us essential. Taking insurance would have, increased our bottom line so that we could come back quicker. And to get us there as an industry, we need to be more reputable. We need to be more accountable, And even me not loving / hating / not being so sure about this establishment licensing in North Carolina right now, I feel like it will help us be more reputable as an industry. I don't love it because I don't love some of the things around it, and I don't like that it's such a gray thing. And I like everything to be in black and white, like laid out. There's no room for misinterpretation, So I feel like there's still some of that there. But, my goal, and my impact on the industry itself, I think I want it to be more of a let's move the massage industry forward, which is where the whole innovation thing came from. But to do that, I have been in a place where I've been seeing clients, to save my business. And that is what I've needed for the last year. That is what I've needed. I've needed it to build my own confidence and, to say, okay, you're booked out, like super booked out. And these therapists that you have, like you're going to need more. When you get to that point, it's like, okay, like I am ready to teach. I don't have that imposter syndrome anymore. I don't have those obstacles in my way. Like, now the obstacle is being in the treatment room, because I can't share my knowledge and I can't share my joy with other therapists. I can impact people one-on-one in the treatment room, but until I can teach a class of like 30, 40 people again, like I can impact the industry through my group. I can impact people through the CE box, which I feel like I'm failing you guys with terribly right now, but I'm trying to pick it up and make it better. And I can focus on it now. I might have started, but I didn't focus the way I wanted to focus because I've been spread thin with COVID trying to save my business. But now it's like things have changed. Like I'm in a different space. Like the energy is different. The priorities are different. There's a time and a place for everything. And some of the things that I've started, I will finish. I will always finish what I start. But it's just I think it's very special to like be on this journey with you guys and, like know what you guys are going through and where you started and where you finished. And, knowing that I can give you guys something too in return. I can help impact what you're doing and help you grow and help you succeed. And literally, like, that's all I want for the industry. I just want our industry to be more reputable and to grow and to not deal with this, adult entertainment classification that we all used to have. Like, I want to see the industry grow. And I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do my business. I'm going to use my business to model to you guys how I want to see the industry grow and the industry change. And, that's the best thing I can ask for. My business is another vehicle for me to show you guys, like, what we can do as an industry. And so I think that's why it's so important that I have worked so hard the last year to keep it open and keep everything stable and to move us forward. Because if I didn't have that, then, I don't have any foot or ground to stand on, like literally, like we've managed to be open through a flood and COVID now. Okay. And my business has grown. It has not shrunk. It has grown. And so, that's the best thing I can have. That is the best tool I can have for teaching you guys. That is the best tool I can have for learning, is the hands-on, like, learning experience of having my own practice. Like, it's not going anywhere, but it's just like the evolution and the change around my business and my group and, the CE box and everything. Like, the timing's been off on a lot of things, but it's great because I feel like I'm getting the backing that I need. I'm getting the motivation and the push, and now I have more that I can share with you guys, and more, you know, more knowledge, more experience, another experience. But I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that you guys are gonna hang in there and, you know, reach out when you need help, of course. And I'm hoping by the time that this is done, I will have hopefully a model that I can give you guys, and give our industry, you know, to move forward in a way that's going to be more positive, more reputable, more respectable, and, you know, where you guys are looked at as respectable members of the medical community and not like members of the adult entertainment stuff. So anyway, that's my ramble. I'm home. I've been sitting in my driveway. I'm gonna go in. I worked like 12 to 14 hour days every day this week, and today was the 6th day that I worked in a row, and it was to get interviews done because priorities. You know, there's a good thing with good boundaries, but at the same time, you know, when you're at the top of your game, you gotta keep going. But, you know, I plan to stay genuinely honest and open and vulnerable with you guys, and, you know, I want you guys to know this is a space that you can do the same, because I am not that coach. I am not going to judge you. I am going to help you. So anyway, I'm so thankful for each one of you, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend full of lots of things self-care related, and I will see you soon.